is a bank in cyberspace. Monetary energy, core of the earth, doubles every year. Listen to my words. Selling doesn't hurt. Selling is absurd. It's like cutting off your wings, but you want to be a bird.
Welcome back, guys. Just going to do a little quick update. I'm going to make sure it's quick like yesterday. Unfortunately, yesterday's video took about 4.5-5 hours to upload. I have no idea what YouTube is doing. But anyway, let's get straight into the video. By the way, guys, if you haven't liked, shared and subscribed already, please do. It does help the algorithm. We need to let YouTube know that we're doing good stuff here and we're trying to teach people and, you know, obviously keep people 2 steps ahead. So in this video, what I want to show you is obviously what Bitcoin is doing right now. So you can see that market cap is hovering around the 1.39, 1.4 close to. Volume, total volume is 91. Bitcoin's volume is 38. Not much of a change here, actually, to be honest, right? Not much of a change here. So we did have a 24-hour high of 35, and then we started going down. And we're going to talk about going down on a different chart. So this is a chart you've seen me working on. I've been building this chart, so every single day this chart has been building, and I've recently attempted to try and put the Elliott Wave mathematics on it as well, so you can understand. Now this actually came because a friend showed me something on something from Fibonacci Lee or something, his name, or a J Lee, and I wanted to double check and see what he's saying doesn't make sense. So I went even deeper than he would to understand what's going on, and there are some crazy fundamentals that I have seen here, right? For example, when we tracked it with the Fibonacci from the bottom of 2020, so from 2020 when we had the low, and I put a Fibonacci on it and I said, okay, this is the Fibonacci, so where did we go, right? I just want to double check if we went to the top, what is it, right? So this would be the top here. Funnily, the next round when we did put a Fibonacci, we can see that it does kind of correlate with the same section where we had the dump starting from. So we did have this move, right? So a lot of people, they do follow the Elliott Wave. Now I've talked about this many times. Elliott Wave is a pattern within a pattern within a pattern. It can be very complicated to actually figure out, but what we've done here is we're using the Fibonacci's to actually do us a little bit of a maths, right? We're saying, okay, let's use the Fibonacci and see what's going on. So we did the Fibonacci and we can see A, B, C. So I'm kind of copying what J Lee did, and I'm trying to say, okay, if J Lee did this, what is his hypothesis? What is he trying to say? Because he was trying to say basically this is very bullish, and I can see what he means by that. It is bullish. We can see if the pattern is going to play out, then we can see that. But remember, this pattern doesn't exist, so we need to see, okay, on the shorter time frame, what are we seeing on the, are we seeing a 1 2 3 4 pattern, right? Kind of. The 2 unfortunately is not making sense, right? So everything else is making sense, the 2 isn't making sense. So we need more data to actually give us the 1 2 3 4 pattern on a daily. Okay, we don't want it on a 4-hourly or something like this. We will need to see this play out on the daily time frame. I know we can easily put the Elliott Wave on the 4-hourly or something, but that's not significant data and it's actually pretty inaccurate. But I want to take you here today. Remember, we talked about yesterday on a different chart, and I'll show you the chart anyway. We said how this line that we put here could be we might end up touching this line. So let me go into a different chart and show you what I mean. So remember this chart I showed you, and I said we could have a potentially come back and touch this line and bounce off. Well, as you can see, I won't say exactly, but pretty much as we predicted, as we said that this is the most likelihood, this is exactly what happened. You can see on a 4-hourly, we came and we bounced on the line. Now we've given ourselves the 3rd touch point, right? So we've got ourselves a 3rd touch point, and so we can continue higher. So we've had this breakdown here, we've gone high, we've done this, we've done a higher high here, we've done this, and I'm expecting a next one to be approximately another higher high around this level here. So the pattern we should be seeing is a bounce in the next few days, all right, or few hours, or whatever you want to call it. We should be able to get on this particular level here. So we are going to see some resistance around this particular level. So around the 36.5, we will see some resistance up to the 37. Once we break the 37, I don't think we're stopping. I think we are going to attempt, right? So I think what it looks like, we are going to attempt this particular line before we get another bounce and come back here and then try and move and do this again. So there's a lot going on. I just wanted to show you what's going on right now and what I'm expecting it to do, as long as we can hold this line. Now, if we do break this line, unfortunately, so let me just say this right. So if we do have a false breakout here, and we do break this line and we attempt to touch this again, we can even come down here, or we can even come down up to this line. If we do, then we will see a reversal like this. This is also a upward trending line I put there. Now remember, this yellow line is an imaginary line that I put there. There's a reason behind this imaginary line, right? So let me explain to you what's going on. So we see this particular wedge forming here. So we got this orange line, which is a wedge, right? So I hope you can all see what I'm seeing here, right? So we see a wedge here. This is a wedge. We see this long time, this great trend line is a downward trend line playing. So we said, okay, if this downward trend line is playing, we also need to have an upward trend line, right? So I put an imaginary upward trend line here, and I said, like, we need to have a few points to confirm this is an upward trend line. If we do touch this, and it doesn't matter even if we come down here, even if we come down here, as long as we touch it, we can create an upward trend line. Now the reason we want this long trend line is because you see this is slightly sloping too high. So the angle here is too high. Now when we have an angle too high, it's usually not sustainable. You know, we want to have a flattened angle, right? So if we can have a flat angle rather than a you know, straight up like this, you know, we don't want to see something like this, for example, because that is actually unsustainable. It will break out, it will break down, like, you know, more often than not, right? So we don't want to see something like this. We want to see a nice little pattern playing sideways and moving up slowly until we hit these levels here, right? Until we hit this 41,000 level here, right? So there is a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm just going to say, just be observant. This would have been a great buy. So when we talk about support on these lines, these are great buy zones. And then, you know, whenever you find resistance, these are great sell zones. So you can sell, if you're spot trading, you can sell on the resistance and you can buy on the supports, right? And remember, Fibonacci's are very, very relevant, right? Because we use the Fibonacci to track what's going on. This is a chart I wanted to talk about something else. So this is similar to the other chart I did. In this one, I've put all the only doing the Elliott Wave, but this is actually not what it's for. This is where I was just mapping some of the stuff, right? You know, on the short-term bullish scenario, you can see I'm expecting a 41 resistance on the 41. Now we can see where we go from there. But as I said, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott Wave, I don't think it's sustainable. Even on a mini trend, it's not sustainable. We will see an ABC correction just after this, so we need to find the right points. I don't think there's enough data for it right now. On the longer term ABC, I can see that we've done the A. We're about, you know, we're probably going to go and do a B, which is slightly higher, and then we're going to go C. So I'm waiting for this B, and if I do think that the B is going to play out and the C is incoming, I will kind of probably cash out on some of the spot stuff that we got, sit back on USDT, pick it up on the bottom of the C, and then carry on again, right? So I'm looking here, I'm doing a few, and I've did an, you know, I'm doing the ABC and seeing what's going on here as well. For example, here's another one, you know, A, B, C, for example. This is a perfect ABC. This is a hypothetical ABC, and this is a hypothetical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a perfect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see what I'm trying to say, right? So they don't really have necessary points. It's just a matter of the length of the leg. So when you go from 0 to 1, there's a certain distance or certain height it has to be. And then this one has to be the longest one. So this one makes sense. It's the longest one, right? Then we can put this anyway. It doesn't matter, right? Same thing applies on these ones as well. So I need 0.2 to be the longest one, you know, not 0.5. So this is what I'm trying to say. There's a certain pattern it has to play. Once that pattern is played, then it's a proper Elliott Wave, right? But here, what I wanted to show was how the SRC plays, right? So for example, this stochastic RSI, you know, heat map, right? This heat map. So what it does is quite clever. Let me zoom into it and show it to you, right? Yeah, we're on the daily, so that's fine. Let's show you something here. So we're looking in the market right now and we're seeing, okay, the blue line is gone up, it's up there. But sometimes you want to know that, okay, where is the what is the candles doing right now? What's happening inside the candle? In order for you to see this and see what direction the market's going, so you see this white line is showing the momentum is down, right? White line is showing the momentum is down. It's saying this blue line is about to come down. That's what it's indicating right now. It's saying purple here is saying the bears are in control, which you can also see from, if you look at this, it's a purple candle with the red outside it. Means the bears are in control. Here you can see we had a slightly darker patch, right? And you can see here, this is what's happened here. This particular one, bears tried to take control, but guess what? Bulls were more in control. So you can see the outside and the inside both were the same, right? You know, sometimes you might find a candle like this where the outside is green, all right? You can see here, for example, the outside is blue, right? Where bulls tried their best, but they just managed to pick it up, but the bears won. Right, so even though the wick was very good, the candle was very good, they managed to pick it back up. You can see, you know, the bears had a little bit of control. Here again, bears had control, bulls done their best. This is where the outside of the candle comes in. So when you're looking at inside and outside, there are two different stories playing. That's what you see. When you look at the white line, if the white line is moving upwards, means it's bullish. If the white line is moving downwards, it means it's bearish. So what you do, you wait for the white part to come down. Right, if the white part comes down to the bottom here, that's when you would want to buy, and that's when you want to sell. And the same thing will reflect when you see the white part comes down. You'll see that, for example, here, when you see that the blue line will be on the bottom, right? So that's what you're seeing, and this just kind of gives you a rough idea of what's going on inside the market. Now, the other thing I suggest, when you do use that, do use some volume to see what's going on. So as you can see here, we had green, right, but inside it was bearish. Right, you see we had a green. If you look at the candle, this is the candle, this is the volume, so you're getting all excited, oh, it's all bullish, it's bullish, but actually we were bearish. You see what I mean? So this is how you're figuring this out. So if you want to use it easier, you use it in a combo, then this is how you would understand. For example, here we see, oh, it looks bearish, it is bearish, right? Volume also says bearish, this also says bearish, this also says bearish, because we're overbought. So we're looking at the info here and saying, okay, what does the info say? Does the green actually mean green, or does it mean something else, right? That's what we're taking out here. Now, if you use it in combo with SRC, which is the support resistance clusters, then you have a different idea. Now you can see where the supports are and where your resistance is going to be, all right? And as you can see, whenever it's a white, it means that we're about to break. So, for example, on the upside, say, for example, you're playing right now and you enter this zone. Do not sell, all right, unless we get rejected. So if we're into this zone and we break out, continue. That's what you would do. And if you say, for example, if you went there, so we took a candle up here and then we got rejected here, sell here. That's all you have to do, sell here, because we are going to get rejected. We're going to form a new support somewhere on a shorter time frame. So in order for you to see that, for example, what you do, you go to a shorter time frame to see, okay, where is that support? So remember earlier on we had this resistance here. Well, you can see we've got support here. Right, so this support was broken. Now it's become resistance, so we're going to face some resistance here. Worst case scenario, you can see where we're going to come. Right, the zones where we will come, you can also see these as well. So if you're spot trading, this is how you know. Like, for example, right now we can see it's bullish. Right, we can see that this one's about to flip. This is about to come here. It's about to turn bullish. Right, we're about to go into the resistance. So from here to here, whatever the difference is, I mean, what you got. Let's have a look. 336. Let's have a look. 33,600 to 33,000. Sorry, what is it? To 34,500. So there's a $1,000 difference here. So basically, if someone's doing a spot trade, they can make a $1,000 difference here. So this is what you would use basically, just to understand. Remember, they do work on any time frame, but the lower the time frame for spot trading, lower is better. So 4 hours, for example, 3 hours, 2 hours, right? That's where you're getting all your information, depending on what time frames you trade on, right? You can do this hourly, you can do this whatever, you can even do it 30 minutes, you can even do it 15 minutes, whatever your time desire is. But keep an eye on all of these. So all of these combined together will give you better information. Now, for me, I'm usually more of a daily guy. So I look at the bigger time frame to see exactly what it's showing me, exactly where we can possibly go, right? So this particular, remember, this wave doesn't look correct. So I'm using multiples here, right? Sometimes you just got to use, for what I do, I usually chart on one thing. So for example, I've charted everything here. I said, okay, this is where my patterns are coming in. This is where every single new options expiry date is already mapped, right? We've got previous projections, right? We've got current projection, and also we can see the current projection. We've got a 74,757, and we've got the 1618 here. Also, let me just show you something else here. For example, let's show you this, for example. Let it come, right, there it is. Right, this is the oldest thing we've ever got. Right, we've made this time back, and as you can see, there's 70,000 flashing here. Now the 70,000 we were flashing were based on this particular level here, right? So please do understand. But yeah, other than that, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one. Adios, amigo.